Ben, who emailed, we read his email before about Simmons and Embiid and which one's the sharp, also asks, for years now, the national media and self-proclaimed body language experts have speculated on every aspect of Ben and Joel's relationship. Mike has commented repeatedly that he wishes they would go on a weekend vineyard getaway to prove to their fans their commitment to each other. Over the same period, some of us listeners have wondered about a similar strain in the Spike and Mike relationship. The famed Colangelo argument of 2016.
What is that?
What's that?
What is the famed Colangelo argument?
This was actually a pretty big argument. It was when I remember Reddit fights over it. It was when, like I said, it was toward the end of the year, if anyone wants to find it.
He has all the guys he needs to have.
I know,
so
no, but I don't agree. I don't think you can say we have all the guys we need to have. Here's what I would say. We're paying Amir Johnson $11 million while Aaron Baines is making $4 million. We're paying J.J. Redick $25 million. Where else is J.J. Redick getting $25 million for 1 year? Nowhere.
Who cares, though? We got him for a year. He's helping the culture. Everybody's happy. They're having a good time. And he's healthy.
But you can't just make every move and say, well, it's not a negative, so it's a positive. It's an opportunity for positive. This is all I'll say, is that you can't just say, look, we have two great young players. Everything's going to work itself out.
I want Embiid and Simmons to be happy and improve, right? That is the most important thing this year.
But you saying it doesn't hurt the long-term outlook just because they have these two players who are young and good I don't think is true. I don't think one equals the other. I don't think that just because they have those two guys, as long as they they haven't committed salary past next year. Well, then I want to see what you're going to do with that cap space.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to go sign a huge free agent.
Okay, but if they don't, then what?
Then what? They plan to, and if I hope they don't just sign somebody that's like worse.
They just better know what they're doing. That's all.
I don't know what I guess I don't know what that issue is. You're saying like, hey, they're creating max cap space to go sign a big free agent.
You know, they're going to have to trade Jared Bayless, and do you want to give up another pick so you can trade Jared Bayless so you can get that cap space? And with that cap space,
if it's like a second round pick to get rid of Jared Bayless and like acquire somebody they can waive.
But that's another error. Like you don't see, Daryl Morey has never been a tank guy, has never been, but somehow he figured out a way to pull off that Chris Paul thing and make enough moves so salary-wise it worked and players-wise it worked and all that stuff. And I do not have the same confidence that our front office is operating on that same level. And it is disconcerting to me because I do not want to waste the youth and then prime of the young players that they've already acquired because we're so busy trying to finish 42-40 this year rather than finishing 36-46.
Yes, I mean, I guess I'm certainly not the biggest Colangelo head out there, but if he's not as savvy or as specific as Hinkie or Morey was, that's certainly true. But like, it's what they're doing is very, very clear. They're saying we have 2 and hopefully 3 of cornerstone pieces of the franchise. We locked Covington up to a great deal, and Embiid's locked up to a great deal. They're going to lock TJ up to a great deal soon. We have Rashawn on a rookie deal. We have Dario on a rookie deal. We have Furkan on a rookie deal. We have Luau on a rookie deal. We have Bolden coming over next year. We have possibly Possession coming over next year. And we have 2 first-round picks this year probably. I can't say whether one way or the other if they're going to sign the free agent. I don't know, but it seems like they will because they're a fun young team that is successful and people are going to want to come play here because they're paying people, and that matters to agents and players.
How can you say that? How can you, after what we said for 4 years?
Because they have the guys now. Because Embiid and Simmons are here. They're here, and they're players that people want to play with. And the fact that, like, they gave JJ a contract, they gave Amir a contract, they're trading for Trevor Booker. That indicates around the league that this team wants to win and wants to compete, and isn't. We got the guys. The whole point of the process was to get the guys. We have the guys.
I know,
and now we're attracting free agents. That's it. Things are successful.
No. I disagree. That's okay.
What do you disagree with? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, first of all, the process doesn't end. That wasn't the point of anything. It wasn't we do this to get this and then we go willy-nilly.
No, there's no willy-nilly. The point of the process was to get like revolutionary players.
Nope.
With the top.
Nope.
Yes,
wrong.
it was. That's the whole point of it. Was to go get guys that could impact the franchise.
Right. If you want to yell at me and be condescending and
what,
take
all right,
that,
what was
that's
the,
fine.
what was the point
then
of it?
whatever.
What do you think the point of it was? Why
The point of it is
this?
the point of it is to create an infrastructure where you can be successful for a number of years
Yes.
and keep regenerating over and over and over again. It wasn't about getting 2 players and it wasn't about getting 3 players. And you can paint it however you want. You can say, hey, look, we have Embiid and Simmons and Fultz. Well, Fultz, we paid 2 top 5 picks for, and the guy still, as far as we know, has not remembered how to shoot a basketball and hasn't been on the court. So if you want to paint that as you're confident as that is a long-term piece, but I'm not. And if you want to do the same thing with Timothy Luwawu, who, by the way, they had like nobody available last night, and the guy couldn't even stay on the court because he's been so bad. But you want to say, well, we have him on a rookie contract. Well, that's great. He's not worth anything more than a rookie contract. There are plenty of positions and plenty of moves that you can look at and say, we hurt our long. Look, the Boston Celtics next year have a chance of getting the number. They have the best record in the Eastern Conference. They are younger than us, and they have a chance of getting the number 2, 3, 4, or 5 pick in the draft next year. And I have zero faith, none, based on the moves that they've made so far. All that we have is what we already had. There's nothing new. It's everything that's here. You have to be able to prove that you can continue to regenerate this and continue to grow and make it better. And I have seen no evidence of that, zero evidence of that, nothing. And them, like Joel Embiid played almost 40 minutes last night. He's averaging over 30 minutes. He's played 35 minutes at least 2 or 3 times this year. And if that isn't a win today move, I don't know what is. And I just hope that when we look back on this, we didn't say we risked too much for short-term success.
In my mind, the point of the process was to have enough shots at the top of the draft where you can get guys that can legitimately turn your franchise around, and we did that. And they still have picks coming down the pipe, which they'll use to either take guys or use them as trade pieces. And I'm certainly not like thrilled about any of the acquisitions that we've had. I've certainly gone on record of being anti-Colangelo about a number of things. I just think like we're still in good shape. We feel good. They're opening up max cap space. Colangelo was dealt such a beautiful hand that all he has to do is sort of fill out around the edges.
We'll see. I hope so. I certainly hope so. I want to talk about and watch a great team, and my concern comes from the fear that we won't.
Like I said, it's pretty clearly Colangelo's not doing a good job. And you actually pushed back on me, and it became like a long fight. On the pod about what sort of job Colangelo's doing. I don't bring it up because I had bad ones in the past.
Well, it was he hasn't fucked up yet. That was what I said. And then slowly over the years, he just kept hitting C minuses, and it actually got worse once Colangelo left.
Yeah.
That's solid.
The famed Colangelo argument of 2016, Mike scoffing at Spike's annual big board, Spike's side-by-side podcast, et cetera, et cetera. With numerous mentions recently about how neither of you speak much outside the pod, I have one question. Mike, will you commit to a weekend-long vineyard getaway with Spike once the pandemic ends? Us amateur body language experts are worried about the future of the pod and want assurances before Lou Butler steals Spike away forever.
Wow.
Well, commitment?
Sure. I'll commit to a vineyard getaway.
Wow. Post-pandemic vineyard getaway?
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm in too. Live pod.
There you go.
Okay.
I've talked myself into the fact that they're still going to the Super Bowl.
No.
So
Foles is bad.
Yeah.
He's bad.
That's all right.